There will always be negative voices. And sometimes those voices can appear to be outsized, and sometimes they can appear to be painfully loud, but you can and will use your own voice to drown out that noise. Because that's what it is. But your voices are those of truth and hope, and your voices can and should be much louder.
Meghan Markle was on fire during her unscripted keynote speech at the virtual Girl Up Leadership Summit on Tuesday.
It's such a joy to speak to you today. To young women around the world who aren't just poised to change the world, but who've already begun changing the world.
The Sussexes have made it very clear that they don't want to be doing commercial deals which may be seen to be tacky. And if they are doing public speaking engagements, then they are relatively safe. They'll be talking about the things that are important to them: racial equality, mental health, gender equality, the sort of topics that they are using to define themselves. These will be speeches about the issues that are important to the couple.
The Duchess of Sussex addressed over 40,000 attendees in 172 countries via webcam from her home in Los Angeles.
I want to share something with you.
And did she share? Meghan spelled out how we all need to work together to face the challenges plaguing our country, encouraging young women to fight for a more inclusive world, calling on them to call out politicians.
Now, many of them, better or worse, they don't listen until they have to. Because the status quo is easy to excuse and it's hard to break. But it will pull tightest right before snapping.
In fact, throughout her speech, the Duchess encouraged young leaders to use their voices and support one another while fighting for change on issues ranging from gender equality and racial injustice to youth empowerment and the importance of creating a healthy digital community.
You are standing up and demanding to be heard, yes, but you are also demanding to own the conversation.
Meghan applauded young leaders and their advocacy and encouraged them to keep fighting.
I say to you, keep challenging, keep pushing, make them a little uncomfortable, because it's only in that discomfort that we actually create the conditions to reimagine our standards, our policies, and our leadership, to move towards real representation and meaningful influence over the structures of decision-making and power.
And the former actress had this to say about overcoming fear.
And often it's fear that paralyzes us and stops us from being brave and being bold. But don't underestimate that you have some of those answers within. Don't underestimate your ability to push through the fear.
In addition to emphasizing the need to trust your gut, Meghan revealed her biggest struggle throughout her advocacy work.
The hardest part, and it was the hardest part for me, is to chase your convictions with action. The growth and the change that you're pursuing might not feel like anything day to day. But when you look back, I promise, you will see that it all adds up.
And just in case you need a little help along the way,
I will be cheering you on, so will my husband, so will Archie, as you all continue marching, advocating, and leading the way forward.
Prior to her speech, a source close to the Duchess told ET why she's so passionate about advocating for women. Quote, "The Duchess strongly believes that the next generation of girls and young women have incredible power and have already shown themselves to be leaders beyond their years. They are a generation that is challenging norms, enacting real-world change, and leading global movements." What's more, the source adds that Meghan doesn't just believe the next generation is not only poised to change the world, Meghan thinks they've already begun. Last month, the former actress delivered a similar inspired message to the graduating class of her alma mater, Immaculate Heart.
The only wrong thing to say is to say nothing.